And I want to just make a couple comments about the fact that you're now going to be receiving and filing the legal opinion that's been rendered by County Council. I know that in addition to his opinion, you have also received an opinion from the U.S. Justice Foundation, and in that opinion, the attorneys have clearly set forth not only your authority for passing an ordinance protecting marriage in our county, but they've also clearly set forth information concerning the law and the matter of fact on how we pass laws in California, and it is not through the Supreme Court. Now, I appreciate what County Council had observed in the opinion that was written, where the justices on the majority side wrote that they were taking this action based on our Constitution. I am certain that they did that very deliberately to make this a constitutional issue and a constitutional right according to their interpretation. However, there were 3 justices on the other side who had very well-reasoned opinions on why this should not have happened. With regard to what you're getting ready to do and receiving the opinion here locally, I'm glad that this opinion is here and that you will be receiving it. I also understand that there's a great concern, and I mentioned this at the last hearing, about lawsuits on this issue. There's no question that lawsuits will ensue one way or another come November. And I just, I know that you've given this great consideration, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness on this issue. I hope that you will take public action in supporting this proposed constitutional amendment that is coming on the November ballot. And I just appreciate what you're doing. But I want us to bear in mind that there were 3 dissenting judges on this matter that had a different view of how things should be. And in November, as Sue Porter just testified, the people are activated, the churches are activated, the people that aren't in church are activated on this issue to protect family as we know it. If we don't take a stand on this individually, I know we may not be able to do it as a group here, and I understand that, but if we don't take a stand, the question is, where does it stop? Do we then have 3 men coming together saying we want to be married, or 3 women coming together saying we want to be married? What? We can't be married because there's 3 of us? You're discriminating. Marriage is marriage. And I just encourage you, and I make a public comment, we need to stand up for what marriage stands for. If people want civil unions, they have the right to civil unions. I'm not contesting that.
I'm just here this morning as a mom and as a wife, and just asking you to please consider marriage between a husband and wife for what the future for my children, my nieces, my nephews, because it scares me. So I just ask that you remember your kids, your grandkids, and what could happen if we allow this.
I represent pastors and Christian leaders from the community, and I am hearing something that has really disheartened me. I work in a children's ministry that has to do with many churches, and I see in the eyes of children that come from homes where there is no daddy, where there are 2 women that are family leaders, and I see the sadness. And I want to impress upon you as supervisors, leaders of our community, not to forget how our country got started, Judeo-Christian values from Scripture. And our educational systems have been based on that. And we cannot throw that away when it comes to marriage. Supervisor Maggart has received information on this, and we all have felt like there's been a hasty decision to railroad the same-sex, or I should say, to endorse the same-sex marriage. And I would encourage you to keep in mind that our Creator holds us accountable. We cannot judge you for your actions here. God is the one. And our children will reap the benefits, whatever they are.
My wife and I are residents, born and raised here in Kern County. We currently live in Hungary, We're over there teaching at an international Christian school, but we happen to be visiting for the summer. So I just wanted to also just support Ann Barnett. She's a friend of the family. We've known her my whole life. I've gone to church with her, known her family, her husband, her children, and she's caught in the middle here. And I just want you to consider, she's doing an excellent job, always has done an excellent job, is trying to obey the law. As far as I know, she's done nothing wrong. And I would just ask you to consider supporting her. And she's doing everything that she's been asked to do, and now she's caught in the middle of a media blitz and supposedly trying to turn it on her that somehow she's being immoral, that she's doing something wrong, that she's not trying to uphold the law. But in actuality, as already been said, it's the Supreme Court that is turning the will of the people upside down. And so we just want to stand up to do what we feel the people have already majority said. We believe that marriage is between a man and a woman, and it always has been, and we want it to always be that way, and to support her in her role and say, we appreciate what you're doing, and we are not going to undermine what you are doing, but we'll stand behind you and to you do your job.
My name is Chad Vegas. I'm not here to make an argument against homosexual marriage. Some truths are self-evident. This would be one of them. I'm actually here for two issues. One is to encourage you guys not to deputize somebody from some other county to come in here and perform marriage ceremonies and replace the constitutionally elected position that Ann Barnett currently fills. I am certain that at times people would like to replace me on the board that I'm on currently, and I'm certain at times, maybe this afternoon after possible developer fees are passed, we'll want to replace some of you for a little while. But the fact is that we don't just go in and replace people in that manner in constitutionally elected offices. We recall them, or we don't elect them the next time around. So I would encourage you not to go down that road. The second issue is that you pass a resolution in support of Proposition 8. Encourage you to do that. And lastly, I want to say a brief word about oaths of office. I also took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States as well as the Constitution of the State of California. But I did not raise my hand when I put my hand on the Bible and raised my other hand. I did not raise my hand and say that in doing so I would violate the law of God. Did not say that I would do that. Nor will I violate the law of God. It is a superior law. I would not have upheld the Constitution to support Dred Scott decision that came down from the U.S. Supreme Court. Hopefully none of you would have either. And I have to ask at some point, when elected representatives like you and like me say that no matter what some group of men in a court say, we will not violate what is self-evident truth, what is the law of God, in order to uphold an oath of office that is inferior to that.
If all of us as a nation and as a community would look to the future, we think, well, I'm here right now, this is my life for 70 years, 80 years, whatever it is, who cares what happens in the future? We have to, any decision that we make, we need to look beyond to the future. And as I thought about this, I'm thinking, okay, where are we 100 years from now, 200 years from now? We think about the book 1984, and look what happened. Here we are, 2008. A lot of things that were written about, the time machine, the man who wanted to go forward and saw things in the future that were very grim. I'm saying if we look 100, 200 years from now, we end up having men marrying men, women marrying women. Where do the future generations come from? A sperm bank? God did tell man to propagate and fill the earth, and you can't fulfill that command in that way. And I agree with what's been said previously. I beg you to give this your utmost consideration in fulfilling what God has said, not what man is telling us. Thank you.